The Sylvantide Mutual Aid Network's only been around for a couple months now officially, when we started putting the word out and saying, hey, if you need help, reach out, or if you can offer help, reach out. The idea here is a mutual aid network, which is not technically a nonprofit. It's of a community group, and even more specifically, it's a community network. There are lots and lots of nonprofits out there doing lots of good work, providing services for folks that are struggling or in need, and this is not to take the place of that, it's to supplement that. I've dedicated my adult life to community service. That's just it. And I'm always trying to think of ways to benefit the community, either through the bookstore or outside the bookstore.
I really admire a lot that Colin Bennett does here for the community, and one of the things that came to my attention in 2020 was that he was creating the Sylvantide Mutual Aid to help our community members, and it was a wonderful way for community outreach and support, a wonderful way to take care of our neighbors here in the community, and it's something I feel strongly about.
When I meet people from outside of this area or even outside the state, they're like, oh, where are you from? And I say, oh, Deep River, Westbrook, Lower Connecticut River Valley. They're like, oh, okay, I've never necessarily heard of that. But anyway, the point is that good places need good names. And this has truly, historically, been a really magical and wonderful part of the world. We're blessed with the Connecticut River and Long Island Sound, awesome forests and wetlands and fields and farms. And for years and years and years, I was trying to come up with a name that could represent the specialness of this area. So Sylvantide, Sylvan means essentially forest, and tide because we have a tidal river. So put them together, you get Sylvantide, and it's just a way to refer to this area that I like to, because it kind of gives us our unique identity. So Sylvantide Mutual Aid is supposed to, again, reach this whole region, not just Deep River and not just Essex, but the whole Lower Connecticut River Valley is united by this tidal river. I want to be very clear that this whole idea behind mutual aid, it's not about me, it's not about the bookstore, but I'm going to reference the bookstore because we've been here in this community for 7 years, and the whole idea behind the bookstore is to be community service. First by providing affordable used books, but then also by using the bookstore as a catalyst for positive change. So several years ago we opened up a little free pantry, which we have behind the bookstore, and then a couple of years ago we opened a community refrigerator. So helping with those type of things, electricity bills, groceries, gas, shoveling.
At all times in our lives, we all need a little help, and I think this is one of the best ways to do it. There's no expectation. You take what you need when you need it, and then other times you're giving when you can. So it's just a beautiful way of being part of the community and taking care of each other, which is so important.
We don't give out personal information, but in just general, broad terms, there's a person who is on disability, so is unable to work and does get some government assistance, but not enough really to make ends meet. So that person reached out, and as an example, we were able to get them a grocery card and a gas card, talked to them again yesterday. That's a perfect example of the network of neighbors helping neighbors. Someone with experience navigating the bureaucracy of government assistance with someone who is struggling and might not be able to figure it out on their own.
There was a time during the pandemic when we had some friends and family in the community that were not working anymore. They lost their jobs during COVID and struggled. They had several children in the community. It was important to several of us that we made sure that they had everything they needed on a daily basis. So it gave us great pleasure to be able to help and just put that support there for them. And they can take as they wanted to, and there was nothing expected in return. And I think it was great comfort to many.
One person reached out and said that this particular year, they had some essentially extra money to help with folks in need at Christmas time. So they provided 4 full meals for Christmas that went to local families. Like when I say full meals, it was everything from the turkey to the butter to the potatoes, everything. So that was really great. Folks that had meals meals that might not have otherwise, or maybe had to make the choice between, presents for their kids or a good meal. Although we have a community refrigerator here, what would be, I think, both needed and helpful would be to have community refrigerators across the region. So we have it here in Deep River and people come every day to use it. It would be great to see it in all these different towns, Chester, Essex. So hopefully Bennett's books and what we're doing here can be a catalyst to help, like, you know, seeing community refrigerators across the region, which, you know, I'd love to help. You know, if someone lives in Westbrook or in Chester and say, hey, you know, how do we get a community refrig started here? So if folks want to get involved with the mutual aid network, there's multiple ways to do it. If you just type the word Sylvantide, the first things that come up on Google are the mutual aid network. So, you know, we have a very simple website that people can go to, and on the website there's forms, and they're very simple forms. Hey, I need help. But there's also a form be like, hey, I can offer help. So people can just fill out the form, and then they go into a spreadsheet, and, you know, when a need arises, those folks, we can reach out to those folks and be like, hey, can you help with this?
As everything did in 2020, everything became really virtual, and I saw this Facebook page and knew I wanted to be a part of it. And I live right down the road, so it's really nice. I can come and put supplies in the pantry, or you know, check out the plants and bring some of my plants over for anyone who needed them, or seeds. So it was really neat discovery. If you have some extra seeds hanging around, you can tuck them in the library over there. So it's just another great way to support the community, and what better belief in tomorrow than planting a garden.
If folks want to get involved, they can come here and talk to me, or they can just do it all really online.
I just think it's an incredible part of the community, and I hope that others will learn more about this, because I think it's really important, especially now more than ever, that we take care of each other. That's what we're here for.
As long as we're here, as long as I'm here, I'll continue to help. My personal vision for this area is to, like, really be a community where everybody can thrive, a safe, thriving community where everybody's needs met and people can live full and enriching lives. You know, it's community over competition, and it's neighbors helping neighbors, and it's making sure that no one's left behind.